Jeanine Pirro was having a bit of a difficult time on Saturday night. So, amid the health concerns, the Fox host decided to broadcast from home, and boy, was it a disaster. Take a look.
Welcome back to Justice. Just the other day, the president talked or was hoping about the possibility of reopening everything on Easter Sunday, and in a way where we could kind of come out of this quarantine, as loose as it may be, that we're involved in. And Lisa Booth, the Fox News contributor, is here to talk with us tonight about whether or not that's even a possibility. How are you, Lisa?
Completely smashed. What about you? Awesome. Look, that led to a lot of speculation that Jeanine was not doing so well, that she was not quite so sober. This is from Vox Media reporter Aaron Rupar. He said, Judge Jeanine missed the first segment of her show tonight because of technical difficulties, and then hosted it the rest of it in this condition. So she had some delays, right? Technical issues. And that delayed her show for about 15 minutes, right? And so, look, doing independent media, I can relate. Except that I don't have a staff that helps me with that. Even a staff that does anything remotely. No, everything is, look, I'm driving this truck, right? And sometimes that truck drives off a cliff for over 15 minutes. So, like, okay, I get it. Totally. I'm not defending her or anything like that, but I guess I kind of am because I've had that same sort of issue, except I've never appeared to be intoxicated. So, to be fair. But anyway, another tweet here from Rupar. He says, oh my God, what is Fox News doing putting someone in the air in this condition? And Asan Tarabi says, in response to that, it's like every time they come back from commercial, she appears more intoxicated. And by the way, they used this video, and this is also really hilarious. Take a look.
I can't. All right, joining us.
I can't. She just can't. She just can't. So that led to some more fun stuff. Cruising Blind 67 said, "Look at that hair. That's drunk girl hair." I mean, look, I can't talk, but I got no hair. Drunk or not, I ain't got no hair, so I can't really speak to what's drunk girl hair. But now Jeanine Pirro responded to this, and this was fun. She said, "No, that's an IFB grabbing my hair. No staff around to notice. I was in a truck where that was not prepared to broadcast because we had no connection, no visual, and no teleprompter." And so that's one response. Response to a Twitter user who noted she looks about 150 proof. She responded, "Keep hating. You wear it well." Totally an answer someone who was 100% sober would give. To say. So now Fox News responded to this because of the online jokes, which are fantastic, right? By the way, they were excellent. Somebody like photoshopped, I wish I had the picture right now. Somebody photoshopped a bunch of empty bottles around her. in that picture specifically, which is a lot of fun. But okay, so here's Fox News, and they responded to this, and they said, it could be summed up by technical difficulties. A Fox News spokesperson told HuffPost that there were multiple technical and staffing issues to blame. Jeanine Pirro was broadcasting from her home for the first time when she encountered several technical difficulties, which impacted the quality of her show, including the loss of a teleprompter. As we have previously said, we are operating with a reduced staff, working remotely to ensure the health and safety of our employees in these unprecedented times. So, look, for me, was she drunk? That's the question, right? Drunk or not drunk? No, I don't think she was. I think that's who she is. I mean, honestly, have you ever sat and watched Jeanine Pirro on a good day? She sounds exactly the same. I mean, those of you who don't listen to her or have to listen to her on a somewhat regular basis know that that's always what she sounds like. So, right? And the thing is, she is a well-paid news actor, right? And so when they don't have a teleprompter, everything just kind of falls apart, right? Generally doesn't turn out all that well. Here's as for the IFB, right? Look, I've never worked with one, but I've heard from a lot of people who have. And yes, that's my basis for this. I heard from somebody that they're notoriously difficult to work with. So is it possible in the fact that she's not surrounded by all these staffers? That is certainly a plausible explanation to it. And so here's the thing, though. Getting around to that point, these people are so used to being surrounded by staff, hairdressers, makeup, wardrobe, technical assistants, sound assistants. It's almost as if, weirdly enough, you need a lot of labor to make a show. I know, right? And so, I mean, these are the people that work in media, right? These are the people, by the way, that conservatives like Piro call fake news, right? Not just the actors, but everybody on like, what is it, what they call mainstream media, or Trump says lamestream media, or I call corporate media because that's what they are. Well, I mean, it is staffed with a lot of people who do a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't really know. Hair, makeup, etc., cameras, lighting, sound, the boom operators, all that stuff. These are regular working people. These people don't make, I don't think they make millions of dollars. No, I think they make like average salaries or maybe above average salaries in order to do what they do, in order to make these news actors look good. I know I'm saying this in a relative term, but these people have the unenviable task of making someone like Jeanine Pirro look good, presentable, right? It turns out that's kind of an important job. They do their damnedest. And again, it's a bit of a rough job. And so these are the people, by the way, that, again, Republicans, conservatives like Pirro, constantly demean. So understand. And it's not just her, but you also have celebrities that will demean their, makeup people and people on the set. I mean, remember Christian Bale yelling at somebody on the set. I've heard, stories about Steve Harvey saying that no staffers will ever have eye contact with me. Well, how you doing, Steve? You doing well without your staff around in order to help you make your show? So look, to all those people suddenly finding themselves reporting from home, well, welcome. It turns out you kind of needed staffers to begin with, right? I've been doing this from home my entire career, and for a long time it did show that I had no support, but I would say that the show actually looks a lot better than someone like Pirro. And that's even with some of her staff from home. But no, look, this was a complete mess. And it just is another great example of how these news actors are lost without labor that makes their show happen. And maybe throughout all of this, or after all this, we can learn a little bit of a lesson here. Workers matter. Labor matters. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.